The seagulls on the cover got me really excited because that probably means that we're going to see the reactions from a bunch of people to the new Straw Hat bounties and posters. And I think, is that the Kraken? Chapter starts out and Zoro makes the connection of Carrot using some type of electricity-based attack. And we get to see that further on in the chapter with other minks as well. And so I'm wondering, like, what is this? Is it like some new type of hockey? Is it like an actual device that allows you to produce electricity? I'm still really impressed by Carrot. I mean, just look how high up she's able to jump casually to get a good look at the entire island almost. We also get introduced to Wanda in this chapter, who is a dog mink. So I'm assuming that each animal has their own like separate ability. Like Carrot can jump up as high as she can because she's a rabbit, right? But anyway, Wanda doesn't answer the question about Nami's clothes. Instead, she's like, yeah, you need to go here, and then you'll find your friend's corpses there. Usopp starts freaking the hell out. At first, I thought it was funny. Then it's like, okay, it's getting a little bit old. But I love how Zoro's like immediately like, calm down, like, you know, twirly brow. Sanji's with them. So even, that's the thing I like about these two. Because even though, like, when they're face to face, they just can't stop fighting each other. They're always complaining about each other. Like, when it comes down to it, they really do fucking trust each other. It's like, relax, Sanji is not a scrub. He wouldn't let them die that easily. Robin is still on comedy club mode. The dark humor, those dark observations just keep coming out like a tortilla factory. Now they're trying to find Law's crew, and Law says, yeah, I was actually not thinking about seeing them again. I'm like, damn, at first, I was like, you're a douche, Law. You were just gonna abandon them on the back of an elephant, but then I realized it's not because he wanted to abandon them, it's because he was preparing to die against Doflamingo. So I think Law probably told Bepo something like, hey man, I'm leaving and I really need you guys to go someplace safe in case things don't work out for me. And obviously Bepo would be like, okay, I'll just go back home to Zoe, because it's confirmed that he's a mink from Zoe. Well, minks are from Zoe, but you get what I'm saying. And so the question is, because Law did say that like, Bepo doesn't remember a lot of Zoe because he left. So my question is, why did Bepo leave? And does that mean that Peekums is also a mink? He should be, right? And we do get to see the Heart Pirates, finally, in this chapter, post-time skip. Bepo is all bandaged up. We have Jean Bart, and Pingui and Shachi are wearing, like, hats that represent their name. Shachi has, like, a killer whale, and then Pingui has a penguin on it. Now, here's the thing. Technically speaking, the Heart Pirates have been in Zoe longer than Sanji's group, so I'm guessing they got caught up in the invasion. I think Bepo, the reason why he's all wounded and stuff is because he was able to fight Jack, or somebody must have messed him up, but somebody that had to do with the invasion of Zoe, because he's an assistant guardian, right? And there's a bunch of other guardians here. Mainly we see two, well actually like three. One of them is a bull, one of them is a gorilla. The gorilla gets entertained with some bananas to stop fighting Luffy, and the bull gets like a, you know, like a red little handkerchief or whatever. And then there's like a lion there who's like, well, actually, the tree was filled with guardians ready to attack Luffy, but Wanda told them just back the fuck off. That whale tree must be really important if it's being guarded by so many people. Anyway, two of my favorite quotes from this chapter are Luffy saying, man, this is like a country filled with choppers. And then Zoro saying, yeah, let's just keep walking to the city. It's better than taking directions from some random ass animal. Another thing I liked about this chapter is that we kind of get a break of the, oh my gosh, the Straw Hats are like a threat and suspicious. That's not the case in Zoe, which is usually the case in a lot of islands. Like the Straw Hats get there and they're received with a lot of animosity. But in this case, it's like Wanda, the way that I perceived Wanda, it's like, okay, we're not really friends, but we're not going to mess with you. So I like that. It's like, because it's a fresh air. I mean, granted, Luffy did get attacked, but that was settled almost immediately. And I also love the gag of like Bepo being like, who's Traffy? We only know Trafalgar Law. He's our captain. Luffy like, yeah, that's what I said, Traffy. Trow! And they get really excited about the prospect of seeing Law again. You know, Bepo, especially Beppo's like, yeah, Captain! You know, because like Law was just thinking about dying and just leaving them there. This chapter also kind of gave us an explanation or a reasoning behind why Bepo is the navigator for the Heart Pirates. It's because not only is he a mink, so I would assume he's more in tune with his environment, but also he's from the New World. So he knows how crazy, fucking insane the weather can get. Then we have a section of the chapter in which Robin decides to do her duty as an archaeologist and examine the ruins of the city You know, because there's like the debris and destruction is everywhere. So she's like examining stuff and she's like, wait, this attack couldn't have happened too long ago. There's still soup in the kitchen. Got Sherlock freaking Robin. Just trying to keep her mind on her work, you know, because she's trying to keep her mind occupied and distract herself from the fact that she lost Ryunosuke. Ryunosuke loved his cold soup. At least I know he would have if he had lasted more than a day. No, but seriously though, if Jack is responsible for all of this destruction, then that's some nasty stuff. Like, that says a lot about his physical strength. It's not a joke. In fact, I think this chapter kind of confirms that Jack has to be some type of a Zoan Devil Fruit user, which makes sense because we kind of already knew that Kaido was, you know, forming an army of Zoan type Devil Fruit users. And we know that Jack is working under Kaido, so it makes perfect sense. What we don't know is whether or not, well, first of all, we don't know why he attacked Zoe. Second of all, we don't know if he's coming back because the last time we saw him, he was trying to rescue Doflamingo, you know, get Doflamingo back for Kaido. So I don't know, like maybe he just destroyed Zoe and he's just not coming back. He's just like, fuck it, I got what I wanted, I'm never coming back. Or he might be coming back and Luffy might have to fight him by the end of the arc. And if that were to be true, it kind of confirms what I was saying in the previous review, and that I think the threat for this arc for Zoe has to come from the outside. Anyway, I also think it would be crazy if Weeble shows up at the same time, so Luffy has to end up fighting both of them by the end of the arc. You see like this giant elephant slash mammoth footprint there as well. So I'm telling you, Zoan type Devil Fruit ability totally involved in this destruction. And then the thing that caught my attention the most though was like, Zoro found like this torturing cross, and it's you know splattered with blood and shit. Who was the unfortunate mink person that got tortured on that thing? Because I'm pretty sure at this point in time they're missing their skin. Anyway, by the end of the chapter, there's another water eruption about to happen, and Wanda offers Luffy a ride so that they can go where their friends are at, right? Nami, Sanji, the rest. At least that's what she says. She doesn't say whether they're alive or not. It's obvious that Sanji and the rest are alive, but to me it sounds like Wanda is confused in terms of who the corpses actually belong to. Those corpses may belong to some of her own people. She just doesn't know it. And maybe that's where she found like Nami's bra or whatever. Maybe the clothes were just near the corpses and that's why she said what she said. And the water eruptions also make sense in terms of like why she's riding a crocodile. It's because every time the water comes out, she can just ride the currents. Woo! Since the city was empty, I'm guessing most of the mink people are hiding at this point, afraid of Jack coming back or something. But anyway, I thought this was a darn good chapter of One Piece. The setup, in terms of setup, it rarely gets any better than this. So it's a really good chapter of One Piece. I liked it. Love seeing Bepo and the gang back again. I can't wait to see when they meet up with Law finally. Thank you so much for watching. Like the review if you did. I appreciate that. Subscribe to my channel. Comment down below with your thoughts. Catch you guys later. Bye.